Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today we're going to talk about the different ways to hold a putter, and there are many. So if this is your first time to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about helping you play better golf and lower your golf score. So if you like the video, consider subscribing, hit the bell notification, then you're notified of all of the tips as they get released. Currently it's every Monday and every Thursday morning Melbourne time. If you really like the video, give me the thumbs up as well. So as I said, today we're going to talk about the different ways you can hold a putter. And there are so many. I'm not going to cover them all, but I'm going to cover the major ones. Okay, so the first one we're going to use is just the simple golf grip. So whether you use the interlocking grip, the overlapping grip, or the baseball grip, doesn't really matter. It's just whatever your standard grip is. So I use the overlapping grip. So I'm going to take my normal golf grip. The only thing is I get my thumbs down the shaft. So I make sure that I get those thumbs down the shaft. Now you can do it that way. You can also turn them under a little bit and you can get your thumbs slightly off center, but we want the left hand to match the right hand. We don't want the thumb on the left hand going straight down the shaft and this one going off to an angle. We don't want this one going down the shaft and this one on the left hand off to an angle. We want them mirroring. So I just try and keep it pretty simple and go straight down with my thumbs. So the standard golf grip for putting is the perfect putting grip for someone that actually uses a lot of wrist and hands in their putting stroke. So if you're a bit of a tap putter, wrap putter, bit of a wristy putter, that's the really good grip for you to use because it promotes the use of your hands. So it's just whatever it is, whether it's an overlap, baseball, or interlocking, it's whatever you would normally use, you just continue to use it. So I'm going to have a go and I'm going to try and be a little bit of a wristy putter on this one, which I'm not, but it certainly makes it easy for me to control the putter. We do want a little bit of movement in the wrist if you're a wristy putter. We're not trying to block it out. So we're just trying to match up our putting preference with that grip. So I'll do one more. So I can feel that working quite well. The second putting grip that I'm going to show you here is called the reverse overlap putting grip. So the reverse overlap, if we take a standard golf grip, once again, doesn't really matter which one it is, but if we take a standard grip and we take out the pointer finger of the left hand and we put it down the side, so we go from there down to there, that's the reverse overlap putting grip. The reverse overlap putting grip is designed to help keep your hands out of the putting stroke as much as possible. This is the one that I use. I've tried all sorts of putting strokes in my life. This is the one that I always come back to. I've tried everything, but it always comes back to this one because it's just, to me, it matches the way I putt. So once again, same as before, whatever we do with our thumbs, we want to mirror each hand. So from there, I do use my hands just a little bit. That's how I get my feel and control. I'm not totally wrist free. And that enables my club head to swing back and through and have a little bit of opening and closing. That's just the way I'm wired. And this grip really matches that type of putting stroke. So I'll have a go with it. Just didn't hit it hard enough. But that, I can feel that I can still have a bit of freedom to use a little bit of hands in the shot, particularly with my right hand. I don't feel anything through my left. It's my right hand that does all the work, and it just gives me a lot more control. So I'll do that one more time. That's the one that feels the most comfortable for me. So the next grip I'm going to talk about is the pencil grip. So the pencil grip is designed for someone that uses too much right hand or has a little tremor in their right hand, and they're trying to eliminate how much right hand they use in the putting stroke. So all we do is we take a pretty normal left-hand grip and we just pretend we're going to hold the pencil. So we do that so that the hand is down here and it's the thumb underneath, the pointer down the shaft like that. I'll stand back here. So this feels quite strange to me, but I can feel my right hand pushing, but I can't, with my hand in this position, it's very difficult for me to rotate that putter face. So it really does help to keep everything nice and square. So we'll see how I go. So that was starting on the right line. The hardest thing for me, I would have to practice this a lot, is I don't have a lot of feel. All of my feel comes from my right hand, and this grip is designed to not use your right hand, so I would have to find a new way to get feel, which is probably in my left hand. But it's certainly helping to keep that ball on line pretty well. That's the pencil grip. The next grip I'm going to show you is what I'm going to describe simply as left hand low or cross-handed. So what we do with that is we just hold. Normally I would have my right hand lower than my left hand. For the left hand low or cross-handed, I have it the opposite. I've got my left hand low. Once again, we try and mirror up the thumbs. Very important we do that so one isn't dominating the other. We're trying to neutralize them. And this is the one that I've probably used the most other than the reverse overlap grip. So when I do it, when I first did it years ago, I'd always have my hands behind. It's actually important we do get the hands level. So that to me feels like it's a mile in front, but I know it's not, but that's what it feels like. I keep my left hand low and I'm feeling my left pointer finger and left thumb. I feel that during the downswing, they're pulling the putter face through. So this helps stop the club face closing rapidly. It helps to keep the club face squarer through impact. And I have had a lot of success with this in the past. Oh, I left it short, but it stayed on line. So quite often I'll use this as a training drill. So when I'm out on the practice putting green having a session, I'll just do that because it does help me get the feeling of what I'm trying to do with the club face. So it works rather well. The reason I move away from it is I find it difficult to judge pace. So it's really good on the short putts, but judging the pace is hard. So at times I've actually alternated in the all long putts, I would use my normal grip, and on the shorter putts I would use cross-handed. I haven't done that for 10 years. It's totally now reverse overlap standard. It works really well for me. So I'll do one more. So it's important we get those hands level. And that would have gone in dead center. The other grip that I'm going to feature today is the what we're going to call locking grip. We're going to lock the shaft of the club into the left forearm. Matt Kuchar's made this one famous. There's a few other guys use it, but Matt Kuchar really has made this his own grip. Before I show you what to do with it, the two things we have to consider is length of putter. You should always get your putter fitted, but if you are going to use this locking method, we need a putter longer than normal. So this is a 32-inch putter. That's my standard length for me. If I was going to use the locking putter, I'd probably use the 36-inch putter because it really does need to be up here and lock into my forearm. And basically all it is, it's once again designed to stop you using your right hand and keep your hands out of the shot. So if I can keep that there, I just hold that in. And as I'm swinging, it's totally keeping my wrists out of the shot. So it's helping to keep the club face square both back and through. Gives you really good face control. So as I said, you've really got to pay attention to the length of the club for this one. The other thing we need to do is also pay attention to the lie angle of the club. Because when I lock that into my forearm, my heel of the club is coming off the ground. So we actually need the putter to be a little bit more upright than what a normal putter would be. So if you really do settle on this as your putting method, it's worthwhile getting the putter bent a little bit or made more upright. But we'll see how I go with it. This is way too short to be trying this method, but we'll see how I go. So I hold that into my forearm. Very difficult for me to actually do that. It just feels terrible, but I can see the benefit of it, but I find it much harder to get control of distance. But it's maintaining its line pretty well. I think with all of these different putting methods, you can't just go and try and hit 2 putts with it. You've got to spend a bit of time practicing, getting used to it, developing a feel. So it probably needs a couple of hours to be spent on it. Don't just hit 3 or 4 putts like I'm doing here and just walk away with the decision. You've got to really practice hard until it starts to feel more comfortable. I'll have one more go at it. So that feels the worst to me, but there are lots of people using it and they're going to make it feel great. Of course, the other things you can think of are changing the thickness of your grip. So if you want to get rid of your hands out of the putting stroke without changing your grip, you can just get a thicker grip. That will help stop the face rotating as much. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. What sort of grips do you use? There's a few that I haven't mentioned, but I've just stuck with the 4 most common in this video. So if you have a different one, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what works for you. But the big takeaway is, once you've decided to change, try them. Give them a really good practice. Practice from short distances, practice from long distances, because you need both when you play golf. It's important you feel as comfortable on short and long with whatever grip you're trying to use. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.